What's up everybody, it's Adrian here. Going to business school for an MBA is a unique experience. Not only will you learn about all aspects of business, but you will also make great connections in all shapes and forms. When people reach out to me and ask me about my personal MBA journey, they almost always ask me about the social life and what it means to their current relationship or their single life. And I always give the same exact answer to that question. An MBA is somewhat a marriage market, if you want it to be. So in this video, I want to walk you through some observations that I made during my time at business school, and it's pretty much in line with what other people have told me during their MBA experience. Now, when you do your MBA, you're in a very social environment, kind of like a social bubble. Depending on your class size, you're meeting between 100 to 1,000 new people in your class alone. Plus, the people that are either 1 year above you or below you. And if your business school is part of a greater institution, think Yale, Harvard, whatever, you will even get to meet more people outside of class, at certain mixer events and at parties. And while there is no guarantee that you will find the love of your life at business school, it's going to be inevitable that you will run into people that you will find attractive, whether physically, spiritually, or both. When I drafted this video, I wanted to make sure that I won't hurt anyone's feelings or that I won't be too offensive, but I still want to provide you guys with nothing but the truth about MBA dating. So here are my observations. Number 1, joining an MBA program while having a spouse can be a challenge. If you come to business school in a loose relationship, or you just met your partner recently, or you are thousands of miles apart, there's a good chance you'll break up a few months into your first term or semester. The situation might be a little bit different if you are engaged, but even then, there is some risk that you end up breaking up. And it's not just that there are tons of new people that you're going to meet, but it's the demanding lifestyle of an MBA program with team and class bonding, classes, excursions, and so on, that can have a huge impact on your pre-existing or pre-MBA relationship. The thing is, even if you get to see your partner, whether it's in the location you're studying at or in your hometown, you will never really be able to disconnect and forget about deadlines and assignments. And there's this pressure of finding an internship or job which starts as soon as you step on the grounds of your business school. That's always in the back of your mind. When people go to business school, they make a big commitment, financially as well as personally. You're making a huge investment in the network of people at business school. To be torn away from that defeats the purpose of being there. So forgetting about that when spending time with your partner can become a challenge. Number 2, work hard, play hard. Business school is tailor-made for dating. Once again, you're in a social environment surrounded by people who are smart, motivated, the right age, at the right time in their lives, and with the free time to a certain degree to date. Plus, you will have a lot in common with them. Similar work experience and similar aspirations and goals. In other words, the perfect basis to connect. What's more, MBA candidates come to school knowing that they have a limited time to nurture the precious connections that can make a business degree so valuable. And business schools try to enforce the aspect of networking. At most schools, especially in the US, there are plenty of mixers, cocktail parties, and other assorted meet and greets. Each class or section normally has a student appointed to organize parties and events, and that's where the networking takes place and where people land themselves a date, if not a spouse. Number 3, men and women are like supply and demand. Just like anywhere else, at business school, it's all about supply and demand. Depending on the male to female ratio, women can be a scarcity. For women, it's an El Dorado. They can pick and choose the guys since men outnumber women by as much as 2 to 1 in many MBA programs. It's great for women because they get all the attention and this can be flattering. But for guys, it can be tough to find the right partner if someone is particularly looking for one, assuming you're straight. On the other hand, it can be tough for women as well because everyone will be in their late 20s, early 30s. And this is the time when women are ready for marriage. Guys, on the other hand, at least for the most part, are not, because business school can be a playground for guys if they have access to other schools as well. Especially if there's a nursing school around the corner. Overall, I would say that guys don't expect as much as women to go to business school to meet their wives. Number 4, MBA can have sex appeal, more for men than for women. An MBA opens the door for a promising career with a high salary. To women outside of the MBA world, this can be quite appealing when they run into a guy with an MBA degree. It's definitely a door opener for conversations. For women, on the other hand, it might be challenging as they could come across as too ambitious. They may be perceived as too driven and a little more intense. And there are men who are intimidated by women with MBAs. I mean, think about it yourself. A guy who says he's at Harvard Business School, for example, that makes a huge impression. But if a woman says the same thing, it could be a turnoff for a lot of guys outside of the MBA world. I'm not saying for every guy, but for a lot of guys, especially the average dude, this can be scary. Number 5, you're in a fast-paced environment. Everything during an MBA runs much faster, and that includes affairs and relationships. Once you start seeing someone, keep in mind that the life of that relationship, whatever you want to call it, is very fast. A lot of goal-oriented personalities all in one place means that if a relationship is meant to be nothing more than a fling, it will be over in 2 days, not 2 weeks. And if it's true love, it will turn serious over the weekend and not after 6 months. At work, for example, you see your boss more than your spouse. But at business school, if you're dating your partner for a year, it feels like a couple of years. Some people say it's dog years. So once again, school itself is incredibly fast-paced, and that urgency spills into your social life. Number 6, dating within your section or cohort. As you might know, every MBA class gets divided into different sections or cohorts, which is basically the same thing. You will end up spending a lot of time with the people in your sections and cohorts. Students from the class above you will tell you not to date anyone in your section, and most people ignore it. An MBA program is designed to have you work in small groups, spending plenty of hours on projects with each other. That means lots of late nights, lots of stress, lots of bonding, and many celebratory evenings out with the same group of people. If you like someone on your learning team or in your section or cohort, chances are you will indulge. If you want to avoid dating a classmate, consider it a taboo. Because the downside of it is that if you have a bad experience, you have to deal with that person for the rest of the year or even the rest of the program. But if all goes well, you get to deal with that person for the rest of your life. Should you decide to take that risk, you'll have to prove to your section mates that your affair isn't going to be a distraction to everyone. Because if such a relationship ends, it's not just the 2 people involved who will suffer. Everyone will be able to sense that sort of negative energy in the room. So always consider the consequences that come with these types of relationships. Number 7, there are no secret relationships. Whether business school classes are small or large, everyone attends lectures and sections in the same buildings and eats in the same restaurants on and off campus. People are so attentive and alert, they have their eyes and ears everywhere, so nothing will be confidential very long. The gossip that is going around can ruin something before a relationship even begins. In such a closed social environment, it can become difficult to trust people you think you can trust. Unfortunately, even if you try very hard to keep your relationship a secret, you will likely fail. You eat lunch with someone on campus a couple of times, or hang out with someone way too often, and the buzz is out. And finally, number 8, the clock is ticking. While the social life of the average business school student may seem a lot like being back in college or high school, you know, these times when you think, oh, you've got plenty of time to find the love of your life. For MBAs, love, just like everything else during an MBA program, is an intense and goal-oriented pursuit. Consider this the prime time to choose a partner. People realize very quickly that their biological clocks have started ticking and people are eager to settle down. Basically, once you graduate from business school, this is going to be the first day of the rest of your life. As you can see, business school is not only about your career, but also about love in and outside of class. Business school can be an incubator for your next relationship, but it's really what you make out of it. I know enough people who have met their life partner at business school and married and founded a family, and now they're living happily ever after. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please go ahead and smash that like button for the almighty YouTube algorithm. And if you want to be updated on new content, there's this button down there that says subscribe. Please go ahead and click it, and I will see you in one of my next videos. Once again, thanks for watching. My name is Adrian. See you next time.